Day 45. Day 45. And I am checking if the audio is working. It is. Alright. Legs. Leggy fucking legs. What are we doing? We're stretching the hip flexors out again. So I spent the morning sitting on the damn computer. Doing some editing, doing some social media stuff. And yeah, man, it's like social media is fucking wild. It's fucking wild. Gives you a glimpse into the mentality and the attitude, the perspective of other people. Specifically, the comments. I try not to read a lot of them, honestly, just to keep my peace of mind. But sometimes I do. And so if you have ever left, on YouTube so far, I've been responding to most of the comments. There's not overly that many, so it's pretty manageable. And so far, most of them have been like reasonable, and it's like constructive for me to go in there and respond. But on Instagram or TikTok, like if something goes viral, which is I guess the point, is to get some engagement. You're doing social media, which I am. You're gonna get a whole bunch of trolls of varying amounts depending on the post. But I had some. Yeah, I made a post talking about, how my upper body has grown, or everything is growing from training arms to a degree. And the reaction to it is like very shocking to see how sort of negative people are. And the one that really and then I made a follow-up post trying to explain in more detail what's going on with my body. And the tactic that really gets me is the people that are like, you're making it up. This isn't real. Or like, you don't have those issues. Your body's fine. You can train. It's like, this is what people are good at trolling, right? And they're good at finding like what's the most like dagger impactful thing that I can say, to hurt this person or to hurt their argument. And some people are really smart, and ultimately, it's just kind of sad that people are, because that's how I look at it. Is if somebody's really going out of their way to leave lots of negative comments and spending time, it's like, what are you doing? Like that's crazy, like that's sad that you have the time and the energy to be. I don't think that's a happy person, unfortunately. And so yeah, it's interesting to see all of that, and kind of brings me to the point of being how you can control your reality and how you should. So if you want to feel or think a certain way or focus on certain things, you got to cut out noise. If you watch the news all the time, that's going to become your reality. In my case, if I go on social media and read through all the comments every day, that's going to be a miserable reality for me. So be aware, be cognizant of what you're focusing on, what you're spending your energy and time on, because it can start to shape your mentality, your attitude, your mood. Yeah. Anyway, for legs today, we're going to be doing 6 sets of jumping lunges. Same thing I do every leg day. My legs aren't overly impressive. We'll get a pump shot at the end. They're all juiced up. They'll be looking better. But I've made a lot of progress in my legs over the past year from just doing jumping lunges. And progressively adding the weight, using more explosive tempo has been good. And my legs are much less advanced than my arms, at least in terms of what their like genetic potential is. So I can do kind of more regular type of training and see growth as long as I'm consistent, which I have been, and I'm focusing on progressive overload. I've seen growth in my legs. And the contrast is that in my arms, years ago, that growth stopped or plateaued. And that's why I'm doing all these other wacky things, and I go on these rants about how you gotta try different shit and push yourself for more, and you can't just keep showing up and doing the same thing. My legs are still in the phase where I can just show up and kind of do the same thing, and the numbers and reps kind of keep going up slowly over time, and I keep seeing muscle growth. Eventually, they will plateau, and I'll have to start doing more extreme things if I want to get more growth. But I don't really have a goal of having like super massive legs. The main focus is just to have them be proportional to my upper body or my arms. I don't want to have big muscular arms and bigger upper body and skinny little legs. It's kind of like a undesirable physique, in my opinion. I think it sort of uh, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. It makes the upper body gains less valuable or less meaningful if you got little twiggies down low, little down low spindlies. Um, yeah. So my main motivation with legs is just to have them be proportional. I don't have some goal of, I got 18-inch arms as a goal. I want massive arms and then proportional legs. Just being honest. And yeah, I feel like they've come along pretty good. So we're gonna do the 6 sets of that. Explosive jumping lunges. I'll probably just show you the last 2. I do a bunch of warm-up sets leading up to it. I'm holding onto the 55-pound dumbbells for my warm-up for the workout. I don't have to do as much mobility stuff. Primarily, I just focus on loosening up my hips. So my hips are the main like problem area, and I don't need to do all the shoulder, lower back, everything as much for the upper body day, which might sound a little counterintuitive, but I'm just holding onto the dumbbells, so I do a little bit to loosen up the shoulders and everything, and kind of get them out of a more kind of rounded forward posture that they tend to sink into. So the mobility day or the mobility work for legs is less, and the actual time it takes to do the training is less too. It's kind of like a chill day compared to my arm training, which you could say is kind of backwards. But at the end of the day, I'm just happy I can do some legs. For a long time I couldn't. Like I said, it's been a year training them consistently, and they've come up a lot. I'm really happy with that, but still more room to grow. They're 25 inches now, and I think that I don't know. I'm just going to keep training them. 26, 27 is like probably like where they get to. I don't really need to grow them any bigger. I don't know. We'll see. Cross that bridge when I get to it. It's easier to get to, or it's like something you don't need to focus on. It's like people that are worried about getting too bulky, specifically a lot of women, from touching dumbbells or weights, right? It's less so now. Like 10 years ago, like I'm 31, so I started working when I was 18, so it's like fucking 13 years ago. Very few women like lifted and like trained for muscle growth or strength. It was just like all cardio. It's completely changed now. There's like a huge culture of like women training and growing their asses and training for muscle growth. It's great. I fucking love it. So it's improved. It's become much more commonplace and normal for girls to like actually lift weights, which I think is a good thing. It makes your physique look better. And at the end of the day, it's fucking really hard to build muscle, whether you're male, female, whatever, right? It's like it's not just gonna happen magically. And in the fucking case that it does, you can always just put the weights down, and your muscles will slowly atrophy a little bit over time. But yeah, that just reminded me of that thing where it's like you count your chickens before they hatch. It's like, wow, maybe once my legs get to 27 inches, which would be like pretty fucking big, then it's like, see if I can even get them there. And like people that are like, well, I don't want to get too bulky. It's like, good, what? You're not gonna get fucking bulky. If you wanted to, you can't. The amount of dudes out there that like their main priority is to try to gain mass and they still don't look fucking jacked. You think it's gonna happen on accident? Well, that's the rant for today. So we're just going to do some more hip flexor stretching, some foam rolling, stretch out the glutes. I'll do a little bit of stuff for my lats, some hanging to loosen up the lats and the pecs. And we'll cut to a few sets of the lunges here, and then we'll do a little pose down afterwards. It should be a little bit of a shorter episode today. I was just making like YouTube videos and like just documenting my training. Just kind of talk about what I'm doing, share some tips, like record a couple sets. So yeah, trying to do it every day now. It's just like same as working out. It's just like being consistent with it. Yeah. Like I don't really want to set up the camera, but if you want results, you got to just like fucking do it. You inspire a lot of people. Thanks, bro. That's the goal. So. Hell yeah. Yeah, man. What's your name? Logan. Logan. I'm Matt. Nice to meet you, man. It's good to meet you. I associate with your evil trainer here too. Once in a while. Yeah, does he kick the shit out of you, or do you kick the shit out of him? We kick the shit out of each other, and we're laughing the whole time. Right. Okay, so uh, 2 rounds done, or 4 sets. So right leg, left leg, right leg, left leg. And my working weight is the 55-pound dumbbells. But I do the first set with the 50s, 20 reps. And then the next 2 sets are with the 55s. I go for 17. And because I'm still seeing like progressive overload gains with legs, I don't necessarily always push to like complete failure or try to get one more like I do on the arms days. So I'm gonna like stick at 17 for like a couple weeks, and then I'll add a rep. And once I get up to 18, I do that for like maybe a month or a couple weeks. Then I'll up the weight and repeat. Go for 17 reps. I'm trying to control the knee tap. Here comes the cramp. Oh, or like the post-set burn. It's like 5 seconds, it goes away. So if I really absolutely had to, I could probably have gotten 18, but I kind of want to like, I don't know, like almost savor the progressive overload. There's no need to rush it. Like, I'm still going to get a good workout. I'm still pushing with intensity, but I don't need to like go to utter insanity every workout to see progress with legs, which arms is a different ball game, as you've seen. So we rest like 3 to 4 minutes. And then we'll do another set. And the main thing to think about with this movement is that on your front leg, you want your front foot, your knee, and your hip to kind of stay in a straight line. So what tends to happen is your knee will like kind of drift inward as you get more fatigued. So you want to think about keeping your foot like 3 points of pressure. So like your big toe, your pinky toe, and then your heel. And then think about pushing your knee out. And the reason that 3 points of pressure is important is because if you just generally push your knee out, the tendency is going to be, I don't know if you can see my foot, but the tendency would be for you to round onto the side of your foot, or at least put more weight on the side of your foot. So if you think about that, like 3 points of pressure, the kind of joint at your big toe, the baby toe, and the heel, and then have your knee out, you're going to be getting that from your glute and your foot are going to work together to keep your knee in a more neutral position. And you're going to build more glute strength, and it's just generally going to be less stressful. There's not going to be any negative tension on your knee. Just kind of like a little form tip. And then the main thing I'm thinking about is as I come down, I don't want to like bounce this knee off the turf too much, which is easier said than done, because if you're trying to use an explosive fast tempo but not bounce your knee, it's like kind of a fine line for balance. But that's generally what I'm thinking about, because I want the most of the tension or force to be coming from my muscles rather than from momentum and bouncing my knee off the ground. So if you kind of just like walk through your exercises, that's okay as long as you show up, but you can always get more out of your movements by focusing on a lot of these little details. And if you do, and then apply it with consistency, you're going to get way more out of your workouts. Whew. I don't know what it's been. Normally I like time the rest, but obviously I'm talking to you guys, so I haven't been watching the clock or anything. I'm just going to grab a drink of water and then I'll do my last set. And the last thing that I'll mention is that I'm trying to push off the front leg with as much force as I can. So I could do the set and still be jumping, but if I actually emphasize pushing off that front leg hard, it makes it way harder. And since I'm giving myself a rep cap, and I'm kind of a fucking nut, and I still want the set to be hard, okay, I'm only gonna do 17 reps, but I could still try to make those 17 reps as fucking explosive and as challenging as I can. Let's go. Last set. My knee tracking my toe. Ooh. Wow. This takes like 5-10 seconds for the intense burn to go away. Shit. Okay. That's why, like, the number that you put in your mind ahead of time is important, because although that set was like seemingly of high intensity, if I had decided before the set that I was doing 18, I could have gotten 18. I mean, there's a limit. Like, if for some psychotic reason I decided I was going to do 20, maybe I couldn't get 20 actual reps with reasonable form. But the point being is that setting the number ahead of time is a really useful tool. And then managing your form. So although you're going for the number, you try to keep your form in mind and just reflect. Like, if you've had several workouts in a row where your form is obviously slipping, but you're progressing by adding more reps, then you need to maybe scale it back, drop some reps, like reconnect with having at least reasonable form. Because you want that to be real progress, not just you sacrificing your form to get more reps, which I've mentioned many times now. That's it. Put the weights away, and then we'll do a little flex down and recap the session. Oh. All right, that's a wrap. Fucking quick and dirty, extra dirty. Hey, dirty. I have no idea if my head is in the shot, but let's check out these little leggies. Fucking leggies. They're all pumped, so there's no definition, but I don't really seem to have that much definition in my legs anyways. I don't know if it's just because I need to develop the muscles more, or a genetic thing. My body fat could be lower. I mean, I'm not holding on to too much body fat anyways, but you know what looks stupid is when you flex your quads hard and hyperextend your legs. Nothing looks more unathletic than this. Yeah, that's the session. Leg days are exactly the same every day. 2 days rest. Well, where I absolutely abuse my arms. And then we hit the legs again. And the calves are growing too. Believe it or not. I mean, I don't have impressive calves, but in the past year, they have grown a lot. Trying to think of key takeaways, points. Nothing really. Leg days just kind of show up. For me, there's not much glory in legs. Like, you don't get a sick pump. You just do it. And, try to make some gains. Make them proportional, strong, sturdy looking legs. That's it, day 45 in the books. This episode or video is obviously going to be a little bit shorter. And if you guys are watching this, or for whoever is and you're supporting, I appreciate you. And we're going to keep cooking. I'm going to keep uploading. And if you have any feedback of, like, do you like it when I'm you want to hear me ramble on about all these different ideas and thoughts I have about training, and some of it spills over into life perspective stuff, I enjoy talking about it. But if you kind of get sick of it, or if I ramble on too much, you want me to tighten it up a little, let me know. Comment. Like, I can, whatever, leave your feedback. It would be completely welcomed, 100%. So, and also the videos, if you prefer them to be a little bit shorter, I can condense things and stop rambling. Or if you like it the way it is, or you don't really give a fuck, whatever, that works too. Feel a little lightheaded, a little dizzy after legs, a little pukey. I think if you don't feel at least a little pukey after a leg day, then you didn't do something right. You know? You don't gotta go full psycho and be like almost passing out, actually puking, bleeding from your eyeballs potentially. But if you don't feel a little pukey, a little lightheaded, having trouble walking, then I don't know. I'm no fucking leg expert, all right? I know my down low spindlers aren't too impressive. We got a little something cooking, but that's my fucking 2 cents on legs, man. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Enjoy yourself. Love yourself. Do something you enjoy. Peace out.